Afrikaans from my Mensa, Afrikaans from ons Mensa. That's Giselle from Namibia, who lives in South Africa, singing about a ballad for the language of Afrikaans. Welcome back, folks. By the way, it's not a white thing. It's for everybody that speaks Afrikaans. And thank you, Tom Walker, for becoming a member. And all the folks who just became members, at least 20 of you, thank you for that. Well, what's this going up here, man? I got some kind of red spot on my cheek. Anyway, so this is a member stream. If you're not a paying member, you are welcome to listen in the chat or listen to the broadcast. You can watch it for free. There's no charge to watch a broadcast. And you can join the chat if we get around to that at some point. So welcome to the program, folks. It's so this is open to folks, but only members can chat. So occasionally I'm frequently asked from members, especially early in the stream back in the day when people were trying to get to know a little bit about me, to talk about myself. Now, a lot of people, like for instance, that guy who was a Commerce Secretary under Clinton, I can't think of his name right now, he's dead now, but a friend of mine went to his house when he was Commerce Secretary in DC, and the guy had every wall in the house, every single wall was covered with photographs and pictures, and it's what I call my I Love Me wall. The one time I've ever had an I Love Me wall, which really wasn't an I Love Me wall, was in my office at the War College because I had students come in all the time. And what I did with the students is that I always, just making sure the sound's good. What I did with the students is I just put stuff all over so they would see it and learn a little bit about my experience, because typically I'd have to take a phone call and have a student wait, or I'd be reviewing their thesis or something like that, or counseling them, or talking about a topic from class, or about an event that we're planning. And so they'd look around, they'd ask questions. It was a conversation that started. But I don't have I Love Me walls. In fact, the extent of what's hanging in my walls is pretty much that map behind me right there, an entire house. With one other exception, I have a big photograph of the Okavango Delta, which hangs over my fireplace in the living room. And that's it. I don't have photographs or mementos hanging up. But I have a lot of those things. I'm drinking airline-size cans of Coca-Cola, the little mini demi-Cokes. You get them at the warehouse. I got these because drinking the big one is a bit much, so I downsized some time ago. I just buy these. A little more expensive in the aggregate, but you save a lot because you're not wasting it. So so I just show you some mementos and things that people gave to me or that I've acquired over the years from my travels. And so we're going to share some of that now. Let me see. Something's missing here. Yeah, where's that at? Actually, all right, let me go through the things I've got now, and then at some point I'm going to have to go grab a bunch of other stuff because I don't know where the heck I put that at. There's a whole bunch of other stuff I want to show you. But anyway, let's just go through some of these things. These are gifts or mementos given to me by people who are grateful for things I did with them. 12 packs last about half a day. There you go. Need to talk about your drinking. What about my drinking? What's my review on Ronaldo Gos? Ronaldo Gos, YouTube content creator. He was a politician, served as a member of the Port Elizabeth Nelson Mandela Bay Geberge Council for a number of years, and then was a member of parliament. And he was sabotaged by people who meant to take him out by resurfacing a video that he made when he was young, in which he used language which South Africans are allergic to. And he did it to make a point. He made his point, and 14 years later, his point was quite poignant as it was used against him in exactly the case. Meanwhile, in the words of Nota Boloye, my fellow Neanderthals and canines, welcome to the program. By the way, this is the Art Institute of Chicago t-shirt. That's what this is. With their lion. They have these big lions out in front, big stone lions. Okay, just let me show you some of the things I've got here. Just these are gifts and mementos. And I don't hang these on the wall because when I've done this in the past and my viewers have demanded, please tell us about your decorations, all those ribbons on your uniform, all the place you've been, we want to know about it. Well, when I do that, I'm accused of being self-promoting. I'm not self-promoting. That's why this is a members stream. It's not self-promotion. So, excuse me. So this seemed like a good opportunity to introduce myself and explain things and answer questions from members about these things. So this is a plaque given to me by a gentleman who's passed away, Major General Suraj Abdur Rahman. He was the Chief of Staff for the Armed Forces of Liberia in the rebuilding the armed forces. And so he gave me this plaque when I was in Liberia. So put it up there. Whoops, I want the screen to show up on there. So that's pretty nice of him. Yep, there's a Nigerian general, and I worked closely with him. He unfortunately passed away a few years ago in a hospital in New York from an illness. Very sad to see. Very good human being. He was a Muslim, married to a Christian. No, I don't know if he was married to a Christian, but he's a Muslim. Really good guy. So this is for my work with the Nigerian National Defense College. So they gave me this for my work I did with them. Compliments of the Commandant of the Nigerian Defense College, Nigeria. So. Oh, Starbucks is failing because I'm not drinking their Frappuccinos. Is that what you heard? Yeah, that might be true. I lost a lot of money because I'm not drinking them as much anymore. So this is pretty cool. This is wood carving from one of the artisans in Liberia. It shows the crest and emblem of Liberia. The love of liberty brought us here. And Republic of Liberia, and they've got a wheelie bin and a hoe and a ship that brought them. And then you see the trees. And then all the counties, the 15 counties of Liberia are carved into this wood. It's pretty cool. Got this from one of the artisans there when I was in Liberia. That's a solid piece of wood there, right there. Look at that. They carved it right into it. Very well done. That's very intricate. Which uniform? I have lots of uniforms. This is a photograph at Gaborone when General Kip Ward was the commander of AFRICOM, and this is my staff plus one person from the attaché office in Botswana. So that's back in 2000, probably 2009. That plane behind us is a plane that brought General Ward down to Botswana. General Ward unfortunately got in trouble for some travel claims, and people had it out for him. So they took him down. He was retired as a 3-star general. He's also from Baltimore, by the way. We're both from Baltimore. I didn't know him. He's older than me. But that's General Ward. I've got a photograph of me with him here when I took over responsibility for that office. So this is the emblem. And this is my class seal from L'École d'État-Major. This is the class in Tunisia where I was the staff college in 2000, 2001. You can see it's backwards because it's Arabic. So 2000, 2001, I was a graduate L'École d'État-Major, the Tunisian Staff College. You can see the torch, the sabers for the Army, the wings for the Air Force. Whoops. So this is an interesting one. They frame this because before 9/11, the only people who prepared intelligence products for the President of the United States on a habitual basis was the Central Intelligence Agency. One of the shortcomings with our intelligence services is that after 9/11, the commission, one of the few things they did that was productive, I call it the whitewash commission, because the 9/11 commission was not about finding what happened. It was actually a policy failure. It was a failure of imagination by politicians, not an intelligence failure. What happened? The policies they put in place to prevent us from sharing information amongst government agencies or risk going to jail for simply doing our job made it impossible to share information. For instance, many of the terrorists from Al-Qaeda who were overseas were discovered by military intelligence and foreign U.S. intelligence services overseas, but we couldn't share that with the FBI or risk going to jail because of the barriers that they put in place during the Clinton administration. And so, but one of the things they actually did that was quite effective is they said, well, we have 19 intelligence agencies. Many are in the military, but there's other ones. Even the Department of Energy has an intelligence service. They do nuclear intelligence. And we have the FBI does counterintelligence. So there's lots of intelligence agencies out there. And only one was producing intelligence for the president. They said, well, others should get involved in this. Well, the Defense Intelligence Agency was eager to get involved in that business shortly after that. And since the Presidential Daily Brief was invented back in the 1960s by President Johnson, it has served presidents usually with a briefing every day. And what happens is that intelligence analysts write an article about a topic, trying to predict what's going to happen so the United States can get out in front of it or prevent it from happening. And then that is gone through a rigorous vetting and screening and editing process. And then it floats up, and then they pick a number of articles, go before the president each morning, and the president and the principals, the vice president, the secretaries, the chairman, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, they all get briefed on this, and they all have a briefing team. So there are a select group of people who are briefers there's a dedicated team of 2 guys who just brief the president and the vice president, and then they each have their own briefers, but it's a small group. And so the author writes it. You don't actually brief the president. It is briefed to the president, and then they take questions from the president and the principals, and they come back to you later that morning, and you have to answer those questions. So this was a certificate given to me for my first time. It's actually slipping inside here now. I have to adjust it. First time Presidential Daily Brief publication presented to Major Wyatt in recognition for his first publication of an item in the President's Daily Briefing on October 12, 2005 by Stephen Kaplan, Assistant Deputy Director of National Intelligence. So the office that Tulsi Gabbard is filling, her deputy is the person who signed this. So that was my first time ever, and this is what the Office of the Director of National Intelligence started giving out. Not very elaborate. You can see a DIA symbol down here in the bottom over here, but this is from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. So, yep, that was my first time. And I wrote 9 of those, which is unheard of for an analyst. People never write 9 of those. Excuse me. All right, so This is someone's asking for photographs. This is when I arrived in Uganda. We had a conference. The Center for Civil Military Relations out of Monterey, California was there, an event that I didn't plan, my predecessor planned. It was the East African Regional Combating Terrorism Seminar. It was held at the Speak Resort in Montonio in Kampala, a few kilometers from my house, 19 to 23 August of 2013. This is me as a lieutenant colonel, and I'm actually out of uniform because my embassy badge is on my collar. You really can't see it, but I can see it. I know it's there. But here you can see decorations. This is the Class A uniform, but it's a Class B because there's no tie and it's a short sleeve shirt. So on this, they took this photograph when I arrived there, and then they made this plaque for me, which was pretty cool. I didn't even know that. Just arrived, and the guy snapped my photograph. I was unaware. I was a lieutenant colonel at the time. And so on my uniform, you can see these decorations here. These are personal decorations. All of these are achievements or campaigns participated in. This is the command that I was part of, the Africa Command. And this is a combat badge for serving in combat. And then these are unit awards over here for having served in units that were decorated. And then my regimental affiliations up here. The rank is on the collars. The epaulets up here are lieutenant colonel. So this is from 2013. Yeah, guys, I have tons of this stuff in the basement, and it's not that I hide it or I'm ashamed of it. I just don't put it on my walls because it's important to me, but I don't like self-promotion, which is ironic because I'll be attacked for self-promotion after this video. This was a certificate of appreciation to Lieutenant Colonel Wyatt, Chief, Office of Security Cooperation at the American Embassy in Botswana, for outstanding contributions toward the establishment and growth of the Defense Command and Staff College during your tenure in office by the Commandant, Brigadier General Marake. So that was given to me by Botswana for my efforts to help build their Command and Staff College. I really put a lot of effort into helping them grow that, getting them guest speakers. I got them at least a dozen guest speakers, well, more than a dozen, probably 20 guest speakers over the course of 2 years to come to the Defense Command and Staff College, including the Commander of Africa Command, the Commander of the Air Forces Africa, the Commander of Army Africa, intelligence officers coming down, people from state, the Assistant Secretary. It was just a lot of people. So this is pretty cool. This was from my staff in Uganda when I left, and I left there on short notice because I was promoted to colonel, and I was in a position that was a lieutenant colonel's position, and I needed a colonel in Ethiopia to finish out somebody's tour, so I was sent there. This is from my staff. It says, presented to Colonel Wyatt for outstanding dedication as Chief Office of Security Cooperation 2013 through 2014, fair winds and following seas. So there you go. This is, and all the personal comments that people, that's what I love about it. It's a nice touch. That's the crest of Uganda, and that's all the all signatures from people on my staff and some other people in the embassy too. The Deputy Chief of Mission wrote on here, not just the, Trish. This is Trish, who is the Deputy Chief of Mission. With many thanks for your service and best wishes for a successful tour. And some of them are very personal and quite nice. Colonel Wyatt, some people are just difficult. You made my work pleasurable. I will miss you. That was very nice. Yep. Thank you so much. Too many things to say. Can't say it all here, but you've been a great inspiration. Yep. Honor, pleasure to know you and work for you, even if it was for a short time. I wish you all the best. Yep. Don't ever lose that hilarious sense of humor. Kat says she'll miss you. And then here's from Oren Struck. That's a guy who became a State Department officer later on, a reservist, whom I'm still in contact with there. Struck, interesting guy. Yeah. So this one's pretty cool. This is from Solomon, he's kind of messed up there, Udunwa. He's a Brigadier General Defense Advisor. He was the permanent mission to Nigeria at the United Nations. This is for me doing work with the United Nations, the Nigerian delegation to the UN. They gave me this. It's pretty cool. It's a little stuff sitting on it there. So it's just got to clean up a bit. But that's from the Nigerians at the UN. When I was at the War College, I worked with them on some issues. And so they gave me that plaque. It was nice. And this one goes way back. This is from Iowa State University, 1997. This goes back 30 years almost. The National Society of Pershing Rifles, which is one of the honor societies for the reserve officer training. It's involved with drill and ceremony and color guards and marching and things like that. Looks like it's got a little scratch on it. But the Pershing Rifles, Company G2, Iowa State University's plaque given to Captain Wyatt for his dedication in making Company G2 second to none, March 1997. That's pretty cool. They gave it to me before I even left. I didn't leave there until sometime after, but that was really cool. I'll never forget that. And actually, some of the cadets who were my students and who were in this Pershing Rifles group, named after General Pershing, John Pershing, I actually encountered them later on in Bosnia, and a couple other places. Speaking of Bosnia, this I picked up in Tuzla. It's a wood carving. I paid 15 something for it. I think it was 15 Deutschmarks, but yeah, it's just nicely stained with the Bosnian flag, Bosnia-Herzegovina. Play 24 says, any negative feedback about self-promotion of the videos likely stems from jealousy. It's highly engaging for your members. I thought so too, but I'm reticent to do it. But I figured with 800 paying members, it was time to do this. It was time because a lot of people don't know me. They just don't know me. So learning. People come to the video because they're looking for information on the refugee program, or someone told them they should listen to me, but they don't really know much about me. So this is another one given to me by the Minister of Defense for Liberia. Compliments Honorable Brownie Samakai, Minister of National Defense, Republic of Liberia, for my efforts in Liberia. It's pretty much the same plaque that I got from the other guy, just with different engraving on it there from the general. Hey, Nick. Yeah, let the new guard have a few things. So this is when I worked at the National Security Agency. Major Chris Wyatt, and sincere appreciation for your dedication and outstanding service to the Cryptologic Mission Management Program from 2002 to 2004. And that's a really cool one. I like that blue on there. Yeah, so National Security Agency, that's a really cool plaque. This is when I was responsible as Chief of Staff for a $3 billion acquisition program, 60 billion rand. Well, it's all public knowledge here, Arctic. So this is Seminar 20. This is one of my classes that I taught. These are the students that were in my seminar at the War College. This one's from academic year 2016. I have these for each of my classes. Thank you, Bushfeld Bot, for the super chat. Yeah, so these are my students there's a Marine there, then there's Air Force over here, Army, there's a foreign student there from, is that Mongolia? I'm trying to remember. Let me take a look at that real quick. So, yeah, all the students sign it. And, that guy was from Mongolia. Then we had, who else we have in that class? We had an African student in there from the DRC. And these are all the students. We aren't in this picture, the instructors. Yeah, we had a couple other foreign students. I'm trying to just see. I don't see them there. Anyway, yeah. So that was that was from the academic class at the War College. So this one here is a certificate of excellence presented to me for my article in the President's Daily Brief. This is pretty cool. They made these nice and spiffy. This is from the Defense Intelligence Agency. Your exceptional contribution provided keen intelligence insight and crucial support to the President, the Vice President, the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the Director of National Intelligence, and was keeping in the highest traditions of the Defense Intelligence Agency and Department of Defense, March 2006, signed by Senior Intelligence Officer at the Joint Intelligence Analysis Office, Director for Analysis, and the Chief of that office, Colonel John Angevine. So there you go. That was pretty cool. I got a bunch of these. I got one for each one I did. So I'll just show you that one. Oh, it looks like it's scratched up there. Oh, no, it's just dust. Okay, good. It came off. That's good. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I have no idea what you're talking about, the Dance Monkey. I've seen Dance Monkey. I don't look like anybody in Dance Monkey. I have all of these. I took photographs of every one of my staffs in Africa. I didn't do that before because it was before cell phones and stuff like that, digital cameras. But I took photographs of all my staff. This is my staff in Botswana when I arrived, which became larger. But this is my staff, which included one reservist, 2 active duty, 3 active duty, including myself, 2 Botswana nationals, one who ran the HIV program, one who ran our administrative stuff. And this is taken to the U.S. Embassy in Gaborone. And I have these from Liberia. I have them for Mauritania, for Uganda, for Ethiopia, everywhere. So that's pretty cool. And I have this mounted on one of these boards. They blow it up one of these services. So you can see all of us right there. So I did that, and then I hang those at my office so people can see the people who work with me and whom I have a lot of respect for. This is my certificate. Won't help most of you out. It's in Arabic. This is my graduation certificate from L'École d'État-Major in Tunis, Tunisia, as a staff school in 2001. It's all in Arabic. If you can read Arabic, have fun. There you go. So let me look at some of the chat here and see what people have to say before getting further. Show more things here. Okay. So there's something on the floor there. I got stuff all around me here. So, all right. Metalhead sound. What's that, Mickey? Okay. Welcome to the 208 people who are paying members, or those who are not paying members. Welcome. We'll get you in the chat a little bit later on, probably. Okay. Debbie was gone for a week. Okay. Okay. Ronaldo's talking a lot of crap as usual. Yeah, he was. Saw a sign. Okay, got that. Okay. This K9 appreciates your time you put in for us, says Alma Gerber. You're welcome. I would still love to see your uniform. Gone are the days when generals in South Africa earn their medals like you did. Here they just hand them out without understanding what it takes to earn them. That's true. Wait for the super membership club where you get a 6-month vacation stay in Guantanamo Bay. Made contact with Uncle Earl Musk, so if anyone has a message for Elon, here's your chance. Okay. Tell Elon he needs to make Starship his priority. Tell Elon he needs to start promoting Chris Wyatt. Peekaboo says, Garrett, I see you. Okay. Must say, as a South African, all the Southern politics is super tiring and draining. The fact you made so much time and effort to bring us, your audience, the truth. It's my pleasure, Bushveld Boat, but it is draining and tiring. And that's one reason I'm doing this stream today is to just get away from that and not talk about it for a little bit. And one way to tamp down all the refugee questions is for paying members only. So that's what we're trying to do here, just talk about something. There is no beard because you can't have facial hair in the military. You can grow a mustache, but it has to be Hitler-like. Can't touch the lip, has to be short like this, so what's the point of having one? You look stupid. I only did it to look older when I was younger. Sorry if you answered already. I missed it. How about how old were you when you joined? I was 18, Volmerons. I was 17 when I went to university, and after a year of screwing off at university, I decided to join the Army and entered the Army when I was 18. And I left when I was 55. My entire adult life was in the U.S. Army. I've spent less time out of the Army than in the Army by a wide stretch. Brab says, it wasn't easy for me to get your live. It's always the first I see, so use the notification link. All right. Arctic says, it's better than me yelling at you. I wasn't yelling at you. I was yelling at idiots in politics. What is the rank after Lieutenant Colonel? Colonel. Full Colonel. It's an eagle. So Lieutenant Colonel is a cluster, oak leaf cluster, a bunch of oak leaves in a circle, and it's silver. If you're in the field deployed so you don't get shot by snipers, it's black, subdued. But that's a lieutenant colonel, a silver oak leaf. A gold oak leaf is a major, silver oak leaf is a lieutenant colonel, and then a silver eagle is the colonel. Peter. Nice keepsake for sure. Ethiopia recognition, appreciation from staff. Okay. I'd be in tears by now, says Garrett. About what? I suspect any negative. Okay, got that ready. Okay. Then we've got Lurking, says Nick. Then Bushveld Boat, thank you for the super chat. Some dumb lazy savages out there, and of course the lefties. Of course, it's lefties. It's very interesting to hear. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome, Loretta. How thick is your CV? 14 pages long, Heidi. 14 pages, and I stop when I only go back to when I became an officer. I don't include my work before that. So I only start my CV in 1989, and I've got a decade of work before that, but I only started in 79 and 89, and it continues through today. So 14 pages. My mother was very proud of me. So was my father. Maybe some of the dingbat doorknobs who think they're too good to appear in your stream will think twice if they know you've done more for South Africa with them and their sub-dingbats. Probably not, it's me again. But thank you for the thought. K5 Squad, has anyone ever told you it looked like the costume used in Tones and iMusic video? I know Dance Monkey, but I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you meant by that. Okay, so you ran teams. Of course I ran teams. I had lots of teams. I was not involved with Benghazi. A friend of mine was. He was the security cooperation chief in Libya and had just been to Benghazi and left a couple days or a day before that and went back to Tripoli when that happened. Yeah. What did you teach to college? At Iowa State University, I taught leadership and I taught land navigation, so a couple different courses. At the War College, I taught African Studies and then a host of strategic courses on geopolitics and macroeconomics and national security strategy and policy and history, all of that at the War College. That was postgraduate. Hey, Erica. Ever involved in UFOs or UAPs? Yappy, what is your excitement about UFOs? UFOs are just things we can't identify. I've seen UFOs, not little green men from space, but things we couldn't identify, and they were later identified. I think South Africa has over 400 generals, not sure what they do. I don't think the South African National Defense Force knows what they do. Be sure to pass your message on to get you into the White House. Sure, thanks to me. The blue NSA plaque is definitely my favorite. Everything you shared with us. What a career. You should be proud. Okay. I see that the beard is nearly gone. It's very short now. Indeed, it is, Vilma. So much accomplishments that you have and great memories to share. Thank you for sharing. 3 days in Pretoria and the beard will be clean shaved. Okay. Before 1994, at 13 years old, we had cadets where we would shoot with a .22 rifle and wear the beret and brown uniform. Learn to march and salute. It was very cool. Had a Springbok in the beret. Yeah, no, I understand. That's we have similar things to that. We have different civil organizations. Civil Air Patrol, you don't really do shooting for the most part, although they do organize it sometimes. It's a search and rescue operation, and I did that as a student. They use Air Force uniforms, and they learn drill and ceremony. That's how I learned how to march long before I went in the Army. Every time I cross the Atlantic, I'm a UFO until I identify as a plane. There you go. Aliens are edible. Beef is getting expensive. All right. I've learned so much from you just this last month. Thank you so very much. Most of us appreciate it very much. You're welcome, Loretta, but not everybody does. It makes me a target for some hate wankers. This was from my time in Bosnia. It's from the Allied Military Intelligence Battalion, from the French Lieutenant Colonel when I was a captain. He gave this to me. My predecessor refused to talk to the Allied Military Intelligence Battalion because they were NATO and they were on the same base as us in Tuzla. And he's like, it's the AMIB they were called. He's like, he didn't talk to them. And what's interesting is that the Allied Military Intelligence Battalion, Bosnia and Croatia, and in the center, what do they have? They have the U.S. military intelligence symbol. That's our symbol right there. That dagger and that rose, all that. That's what we use in the U.S. Army for intelligence. This is NATO intelligence, and they expropriated our symbol for their battalion, which is pretty interesting. So the French Colonel Hervé Huern, who is from Lille, he actually is from Brittany, but he was stationed in Lille. He was ignored because of French. My predecessor never talked to him, so we weren't sharing information. Well, I said, that's stupid. First off, it was very difficult for me to get off the base. The restrictions were pretty intense. And I'm like, eventually I was able to, I can't do my job doing counterintelligence and human intelligence unless I can get outside the base and talk to people. I mean, it's impossible for me to coordinate the actions of people out there if I'm not actually out in the world. And finally, the general agreed after a few weeks. But in the meantime, I went and I said, hey, there's intelligence people here. Let's go work with them. So I went over and introduced myself to the French colonel, and he was suspicious at first, but then he saw that I was sharing, and I took information to them that would eventually get to them, but it took a long time to get to them. It was releasable to them. So as soon as we have it, I would just like go over there once a day and go, hey, here you go, sir. Here's the stuff. And they would share information with me. And I learned an awful lot about NATO partners as a consequence of that. And they also had some good information. So, yeah, I try to build bridges, not destroy them. So this is from the U.S. Embassy, Kampala, Uganda. Okay. And there's a gift in here from my team. Oops, something fell out there. So here you've got... thank you, Colonel Wyatt, for the job well done as Chief All Security Cooperations. This was a gift from my Navy Lieutenant Commander, who was from CJTF Hoa, based in excuse me, Djibouti, but he worked for me in Uganda. So I don't know why there's a little ribbon in there. It was nice of them, but that came with it. Not sure what that ribbon is all about. Anyway, so that's that. Kampala's in Uganda. I'm fine, Timmy. Welcome to you. So here is, this is kind of cool. Every graduating class from the War College, it's kind of dirty too. Every graduating class from the War College gives a gift to the school. A lot of them have paintings commissioned. Some of them make statues or monuments. For instance, someone had a bronze sort of torch, which is what the War College's symbol is, and it's placed in front of the War College. But many do paintings. Our class did a painting, and this was to commemorate the conflict. And it shows the Twin Towers before they collapsed, the American flag, and then all the different services and different people involved. And it's pretty interesting. So this was our Mission Complete, Mission Ready by James Dietz, a very famous artist. He made this and we commissioned it, and then we gave this to the War College. So the original, that's my copy of it. The original, which is full size, it hangs about 2 meters across and 2 meters high, hangs at the War College. So you can see all the soldiers, Marines, naval personnel, first responders, all responding, all the people responsible for fighting the conflict. So this was in 2014, I think we had this commission. Yep. So that's that. That's my War College gift to the War College. So what else we got here? This is a photograph that was given to me by my boss. He gave it to me just a few years ago. I was in the Gulf War in 1990, 1991, and in 2015, my former boss, who wound up working for another agency, which I won't disclose, was teaching at the War College. He arrived at the War College around the same time as me. And I'm like, no way, I know that guy. And he gave me this photograph, which is an iconic photograph. It's our unit in the Gulf War. This is the 3rd Battalion, 8th Cavalry, along with a bunch of other units off in the distance, but the tanks in the foreground are our tanks, M1A1 Abrams, as we crossed the line of departure and attacked into Iraq. This is the Gulf War, and it looks like ships at sea. It's very iconic. This photograph is famous now, but someone in our unit took this photograph, and you can see all the armored vehicles out there like ships at sea, and there's our tanks advancing. Pretty wild, huh? Pretty wild. So that one I like. This is when I ended my Springbok career. This is from 2013 when I finally retired as a Springbok player. I used to play left wing, number 11. So they highlighted me in the Springbok SA Rugby magazine. So you can see that was the last time I played for the Springboks. That was the match where Brian Habana pulled his hamstring. So yeah, I didn't actually get on the pitch that day, but they did highlight me in my career in South African Rugby magazine. So you can see it right there. Pretty cool. Yeah, and you'll recognize, of course, it's legit. It's not deep fake. That is the correct jersey for 2013. So you can look it up if you don't believe me. That actually is for 2013. That is the day of the match against the All Blacks when Brian Habana did pull his hamstring at Ellis Park. I was there at that game, but was it ABSA or somebody outside had a photo booth? You take your picture and they superimpose it on there. And so I was wearing the right jersey that day. So that was one of my favorites. It was pretty cool. So yeah, at the top it has the Rugby Championships. Back then, was it already the Rugby Championship? Yeah, because Argentina was in it. It used to be the Tri-Nations. So at the top it has Argentina, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. The Castle Lager Rugby Championship magazine. Official match program. Yeah, Castle Lager, they're the ones that did it, not ABSA. So it's pretty cool, huh? So I was clever too. I have a t-shirt underneath, and the t-shirt is the correct kind of an orange color, which highlights right by the collar there. It highlights the yellow. So one of my favorites actually. So I mentioned General Ward earlier. This is a photograph. When I went to Africa, General Ward directed that all of the attachés and the chiefs of cooperation, security cooperation, visit AFRICOM and have an office call with him. And I went there. And so I was Lieutenant Colonel, and this is me with General Ward. A lot of people don't associate themselves with General Ward because of the trouble he got into. But my experience, General Ward is a pretty good leader, and it's unfortunate, but he was also targeted. Not that he didn't do anything wrong, but it was administrative. I don't think it was really malicious or intentional. So anyway, this photograph is with General Ward. You can see his 4 stars, and you can see my poor Lieutenant Colonel rank on there. That's at AFRICOM headquarters in Stuttgart. You can see 4 stars on his chest there and just my Lieutenant Colonel thing on there. Yep. And you see I'm taller than General Ward, so he's got his hand on my shoulder reaching up. You see we got different boots on there. I have the issue boots. He had the commercial boots. You can see the AFRICOM carpet, which is commissioned. I don't know what that cost, but it was lovely. Yeah, there you go. General Ward. So that was pretty cool. Well, most leaders are humans. Some are assholes. All right, that's that. Now, this one is from my time at the Defense Intelligence Agency. People typically did this, and this is signed by the analysts who were in our office. I wound up being the deputy chief of the division when I left. I was an analyst when I went there and quickly became the chief of Southern Africa. Then they merged Southern Africa with Central Africa, and so then I was the chief of Southern and Central Africa. Then I was promoted to be the deputy for the division, and all the time I kept getting more responsibility. I was doing more production. I wrote over 1,200 intelligence articles, briefs, or publications during my time at the Defense Intelligence Agency, which was only 34 months. It wasn't quite 3 years. So this was pretty cool. They gave this to me. It's Deputy Africa Division and Branch Chief, Southern and Central Africa Joint Intelligence Analysis Office from 2004 to 2007. And they all signed it. Look at this. This is super cool. There's the Pentagon. Really cool. Nice stuff there. So, yeah. You can see all the signatures on it there. Really cool stuff. Yes, I have the boots the Army wear, and yes, they're good. I don't think I have any of the black ones left. I got rid of those, but I have the more current tan ones that we used for a long time. So that's that stuff. There was some other stuff I wanted to show you. I'm going to have to take a quick pause to go grab it, and I can take that back downstairs. So give me a minute. Don't run off. Talk to yourselves, those who can chat. I see we dropped 13 people. I guess they didn't like the self-promotion. Hang tight. I'll be right back, okay? Don't go anywhere. Chat amongst yourselves. Wow, people just disappeared left and right there. Wow. 267 to 243, and people just disappeared. Wow. Wow. 27 people left. Damn. What's that all about? So, no patience whatsoever. So this is a cap, something we paid for with PEPFAR money. Yep. Earn respect, test, and circumcise. Sikwata Hwehile. This is the HIV campaign for the BDF. I have no idea what Neil deBeer said about MK. It was playing when I came out of the shower. This is from my trip to Japan in 2019 for the Rugby World Cup. The last month I was in the Army. And this is Kobe Misaki Stadium. So you can see the stadium right there in the center of it. Pretty cool. There's little mascots for the World Cup. They were kind of weird. Japanese have all kinds of weird stuff. But yeah, you can see here's one of the little mascots there. Take a breath. What do you mean take a breath? What does that mean, take a breath? This is from Kumamoto, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Kumamoto. Well, Kumamo, who is their little bear from Kumamoto. Kumamoto was pretty cool. I had a good time there. The game there wasn't particularly great. I can't remember whose game it was, but Kumamoto was pretty cool. It's about as far south as I got in Japan. Take a breath. I still don't understand what that means. This is a welcome. Which one's this for? This is Kumamoto. There you go. It's kind of a welcome. They love to do these. I don't know what these are, kerchiefs or whatever you want to call them. But Japan seemed to love to do these things. They had them everywhere for the rugby. 16 went to Waterberg for a week. We're taught different types of detonation cables. Guys, to me, it feels unfair to just us talk and the others can only watch what we're doing. So can the others join? I don't like it to treat people the way I like to be treated. Well, Brendan was being treated wrong, Bram. Do you think it's unfair for people who don't pay to watch a movie to not be able to watch the movie? People are able to participate. They're able to watch this. So give me a few minutes and I'll open it up after a bit of time. So, you know, that's an odd argument. Those who don't pay for an airline ticket don't get to fly. So the difference here is that anybody can watch this. It isn't restricted to just members only. The chat is restricted to members only. So Malawi, the warm heart of Africa, where I used to be stationed. And Rainer just gifted 5 memberships for people who'll be able to jump in the chat now. There you go. So this is pretty cool. I love this one. Thank you, Rainer, for gifting those memberships. And for those people who are currently here who just got gifted a membership, you can chat now if you'd like to chat. Okay. So the warm heart of Africa. My other half would listen in and keep yapping about your big opinion of yourself. I'm so happy to say that for her tendency to be judgmental, she's now my ex. Well, you know what? She has no reason to watch me unless she's, I think I have a big opinion of myself. Whatever. Am I just supposed to sit and shrink and hide in my basement and not engage with people? This is one of my favorite things. The Hofbräuhaus. I didn't steal it. You can buy these. I bought this at the Hofbräuhaus. There's the sticker. That's a license plate, Hofbräuhaus from Munich. You can imagine why that's one of my favorites. And here's one I picked up at the Sevens tournament. I've never taken it out of the plastic yet. Twickenham Stadium. I don't like England rugby, but Twickenham is an iconic location, so it's not a license plate. Michelle says she loves the stories. Well, I think a lot of people do find it interesting. So, Chris Marie and I went to a Wits game, and they handed out these try cards. So every time you score, you put the try up. That's from Wits. These are from Mauritania. These are storage sacks from Mauritania. They look like quivers to put arrows in, but that's not what they're for. Very intricately painted and designed, made out of leather. Camel leather, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, so I have these from Mauritania. There's one. There's another one. Pretty cool. So, all from Mauritania. This is a gift that was given to me by a colleague. I was still a major. She was a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. She was my desk officer at the U.S. European Command before it became Africa Command. She was Air Force. Nice lady. She worked really hard. Great to work with. And she came down on a visit to Liberia, and she went shopping in the little knick-knack shop. She bought something. I never would have bought this for myself. And if she hadn't given this gift to me, I wouldn't have it. And I would have regretted it because it's one of the coolest gifts I ever got. It's rather small and not a big deal, but check it out. This is a cloth with the 15 counties of Liberia on it. Very small thing, probably only cost a few bucks, or maybe 10 or 15 she might have paid for it. But what an incredible gift. It's an accurate depiction of the counties of Liberia, and it's really cool. I would never have bought it for myself because I'm like, that's touristy. But I'm so glad I have it. So nice of her to do that for me. Yep. Wow. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, that's Nimba County, Lofa County, Maryland County way down here, River Cess, Grand Bassa County. Yep. So that's a really cool gift. Why are you laughing, Peter? They're trying to erase my great rugby career. It sounds like the Department of Agriculture under John Steenhuisen. This is a cattle hide from Niger. and they burn in the map of Niger on it with all the major places. You see Lake Chad down here, which is pretty much gone now, but it's pretty cool. Like that one a lot. So I was based in Niamey, which is all the way over here in this corner of Niger. This gift goes back a long time ago. This is from an air defense unit. It's the Flakraketengruppe 42 Stabsversorgungsstaffels from the staff to Captain Wyatt. In recognition of his outstanding work as the partnership officer in charge, Major Scheer. So this is from a German air defense unit for my efforts to do partnership with the German forces, the Bundeswehr, back in the 1990s. Flakraketengruppe. They put on the back, and that's sealed in there. But check this out. It's copper. What a nice gift this is. Pretty cool. That's their air defense systems that they had. And the irony is that we were an aviation unit and they were air defense. They shoot down planes and we flew planes. They shoot down planes and we fly planes. It was pretty cool. Yep. So this one's super special, guys. Super special. I mean, not really. I mean, frankly, I'm not going to throw shade on the other people, but this is from the State Department. And frankly, I should have gotten 2 or 3 of these, but they don't reward their people. They don't reward non-State Department people very well. But the Deputy Chief of Mission really made a big deal about this. Ambassador Scott DeLisi signed it. This is the Meritorious Honor Award, which an ambassador can give with the State Department's approval. And it was awarded to me for sustained exemplary performance in skillfully managing the impact of concurrent crises and operations of the U.S. missions, Uganda's relations with the Uganda People's Defense Force. This is when we did the Hey, Adele, thank you for becoming a member. This is when we dealt with the non-combat evacuation from South Sudan. Meritorious Honor Award. State Department people get these, but non-State Department people rarely get these. I think I should have got one for building our force Liberian for what I did in Botswana, but that's just me. But here they actually took care of me. Ambassador Scott DeLisi. 2 other people were on the award because it covered a gamut of things and not just for that one thing. So yeah, that's a State Department award. Yeah, I also have a decoration from the state of Hesse in Germany for my contributions. Yeah. And from the government of Liberia for my efforts to rebuild the military. And this is pretty cool. So years ago, I was foolish enough to go, you know what, I'd like to run the Comrades. Yeah, sure. 52 kilometers, a brutal run. So years ago, I said I'd like to do that ultra marathon, which is not really an ultra marathon. Usually 100 kilometers ultra marathon, but they count as an ultra marathon because it's grueling up and down the hill. Anyway, from Pietermaritzburg to Durban and back the other way. So in 2022, when I was in Durban, the Comrades was running, and it was running from Pietermaritzburg to Durban. So when I was leaving that morning from, what's the place over there? It wasn't in Amazimtoti, but north of that, along the ocean there. Anyway, I left that morning, picked up Erica. I had met that morning with Busisiwe Makwabane, not the public protector, but the young lady that's in university there, because she saw me. I live streamed I left the next day. I'm sorry. The day before I left, they had the Comrades. So I went downtown to the Comrades, and I went to Wyatt Street. There's a Wyatt Street in Durban, named after a lieutenant in the British forces in the Anglo-Boer War. Not Anglo-Boer, the Anglo-Zulu War. And so Wyatt Street's probably the shortest street in South Africa. It's a very short street just before the McDonald's in the Central Business District. Anyway, I go there every time I go to Durban just to see if the street still exists, if they haven't renamed it, and take pictures and let the sign. So I went during the Comrades and I did a live stream, and then people saw that I was in South Africa because my shadow banning wasn't in effect because it was off my mobile and the IP address confused YouTube. So Busisiwe Makwabane, who had discovered my original channel, I disappeared, and then she found I was there. So anyway, I liberated this sign. So the Comrades Marathon, and I managed to get this all the way back in my suitcase to America. So you can see there's some paint or something down here, and there's a halal sticker over here. I don't really know what that's all about, but so there you go. So I liberated this. I and my comrades liberated this Comrades Marathon sign on the day of the race in 2022. People say you can't do that. Well, it was laying on the street, so I didn't exactly tear it down off of sign. It was laying on the street, and I liberated this. Yes, me and my MK cohorts. Yeah, I was taking out the trash, literally. This was laying on the street. It was rubbish. It was covered in dirt, and it had gotten wet, and so it took me a while to clean it off. I had to hose it down quite a few times. Yep, there you go. So there you go. All right. So that was the Comrades. Ouch. 293 people currently. My uncle who raised me, first war he was sent to was Korea. He left when he was 18, came back 21. Wow, 3 years in Korea, that's a long time. I don't know anybody that spent 3 years in Korea. Yes, I gave the sign freedom. What about the Namibia cap? This is the World Cup. This is the 2023 World Cup in France. I have Namibia cups from many of the World Cups. Namibia caps from many of the World Cups. This has got a weird bill underneath. Check it out. But anyway, so yeah, that's just wearing something that goes a little bit better with the black shirt. Yes, it would have been stolen anyway, Ravani. It would have gone in the rubbish. So the bluff. Thank you, Erica. Bluff is what I was trying to say for one night. Yeah, and then that's the day when I left my tripod, this one here, on the hood of the car. Eric and I parked, and I thought the cops were coming over to give me a ticket for parking illegally, even though it wasn't illegal, but it's South Africa. So I started driving away. This was on top of the roof, and the cops, I looked like I wasn't paying attention to them. They came over, and I just kind of waved to them and drove down the street. We drove past the end of the Comrades, past the McDonald's, and I realized as we made the turn, where the hell is my tripod at? So I pulled over when I turned the corner. I got out, and it was still mounted on top of the roof because it's got these non-sliding little rubber grommets here, so that it just doesn't move. And so I still have this. Nearly lost it that day. Still have it all this time later. So anyway, Erica was there with me. We rode up to. We went to Howick from there, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway. Yeah, that was the Asymptote. She had set up, Eric had set up a meet and greet, and Big Daddy Liberty came to it. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And that was also the trip when Karucharo took me out to Chatsworth. Yep. And then I got attacked by some black supremacists. Why didn't you go where the black people are? I'm like, dude, there's black people in Chatsworth. No, it's just Indians. No, there's black people there too. And he's like attacking me because I didn't go to black neighborhoods. Because more like anti-black. I'm like, did you offer to take me to these neighborhoods? I didn't just go to Chatsworth of my own volition. I don't know Chatsworth. I went with someone that knows the area who offered to take me. You want to offer to take me to a township that I don't know? Then I'll go with you. I know Alexandria. I know Kailicha. I can do that. Dumbasses. Anyway. Oh, the signed rugby ball that got lost. Hank, you know that story. So this rugby ball, before I got to South Africa, Hendo, who's very helpful, suggested that I buy a rugby ball because he knew I was going to go to the Rugby World Cup in 2023, and this was 2022, a year before. He said, why don't you get yourself a rugby ball and because we already knew that I was going to interview Nas Botha and Joel Stransky and meet with Victor Matfield. Thank you, Savage Daughter, for your membership. And so Hendo suggested I get a ball and get them to sign it. Well, I'm like, okay. So when I was in South Africa, when I went up to Northwest to talk to the commercial farmers and to the Forum for Democrats, when I got there, I stopped in Rustenburg to get some petrol at the BP station, get some food to McDonald's. And then they had a sports store because they built a lot more stores since I last lived there. So I went to the Sports World, or whatever it's called, walked inside, and they had like 2 rugby balls, one inflated and one uninflated. So I bought the one uninflated and for the 2023 World Cup. And then the plan was when I interviewed these people, so I carted this all over South Africa, on the planes, in cars, no trains, planes and automobiles, all over the country. I bought these markers at one of the stationery stores. I bought a black one and a gold one. So there's the gold, okay? And then the plan went very well. I was in Bloemfontein after I left Clarence. I went to Senekal, drove to Bloemfontein, and then met Nas Botha after I went to Grey College for a tour of Grey College's rugby program. And Nas signed this after I interviewed him. And then I met Joel Stransky in person at Santon City, where he was working at. Thank you, George. And he signed it. And then I promptly got up because I was in a rush to get to AfriForum, and I left the ball at the hotel in Santon City. And I said the Southern Sun, but it was the Santon Sun, not realizing there were 2 of them there. It's the same chain. I know the chain. Now they have a different name. They've changed it to some African thing, but it's the Southern Sun chain, started by Saul Kirshner, if I remember correctly. Anyway, I lost the ball, and I thought it was gone forever. Unbeknownst to me, my team of followers and viewers rushed behind my back and communicated secretly to each other, somebody go get Chris's ball. I sent them the wrong place, and then they realized I sent them the wrong place, and then they found the right place, and they went there, and the people wouldn't just give it to them. They wouldn't just give them the ball. Jimmy, thank you for your membership. They wouldn't just give the ball. So somehow they tricked them or convinced them to give the ball. They got the ball, and when we had our meet and greet, which Chris Marie scheduled in Pretoria, it was the biggest meet and greet we had. We had at one point almost 60 people there, a massive table in that place, and it was fantastic. Koketsa was there, Duma was there, Erica was there. So many of you were there who are watching right now. People gave me gifts, and then a couple people gave me super chats in private. That was nice of them. I really appreciate the super chats. And then somebody asked me to come over, and we live streamed that, by the way. We just turned off the sound because the music was playing. I didn't want any copyright strike, but and I came over, and occasionally I'd talk to the camera and put the sound back on for a minute, and then pan around, then put it back, and people watched the live stream, which was kind of cool. Anyway, someone said, "Hey, we've got something for you." They're in the middle of the table, and I forget who it was that gave it to me, and they pulled this ball out of a bag, and I was in tears. It was so cool, man. It was so cool. It was so cool. It just shows you how much people really care. That's why when the hate wankers come here and the evil racists and their nonsense, I mean, it's distracting, it's annoying, but you really can make a difference in people's lives. And that trip really showed me that I was making a difference in people's lives, which is what Leovan says he can't chat. Is he a member? I can't remember if he's a member. But the chat's turned off for people who aren't members. We're going to try to turn on it shortly. So hang on, Leovan. So, so this ball came back to me. So the problem is that Victor Matfield was supposed to sign here. But I didn't have the ball when I met with Victor Matfield. I got this after the meeting with Victor Matfield at Linwood Bridge. So, and then people are like, bring it back to South if I can get it signed again. I'm like, no, this ball is not leaving America. It's here. It's staying here. So that's what I thought. So, I don't know why he can't chat. He's not blocked. I'll take a quick gander there. 300 people here. Let me just take a quick look. Memberships. No. By the way, we have 803 members. Wow. 711 more than we had in the last 28 days. Wow. So we were under 100 then back then. Well, no, we lost a few, so they're not here. But we weren't under 100. This is settings, and it's community moderation. I think that's where it's at. Standard moderators. Okay. And then hidden users. Okay. I'm looking. No, he's not blocked. I don't know why I can't do it. I don't know why I can't do it. I have no control of it, but we're going to open up the right here shortly. Nigel. That was Nigel. Thank you very much, Anne-Marie. Thank you very much for that. I can't remember. It all bleeds together. I was really emotional at that time. What was your thoughts the last time you tasted biltong? Roxy, I've been eating biltong for 30 years, so I mean, it's. Erica lived in Bluff for 20 years and survived. Please, okay, I did land. I'm sorry about that. Let me, but we're gonna open up here shortly. But okay, so it's an hour in. I'm not even gonna ask folks. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up to everybody for the chat. Okay, that hour was reserved for the members. Next time, Chris, we need to get together at Strandloper in Langebang. Okay, Herman, sounds good. Took a lot of organization and secrecy. It did. Yeah, very, very secret. If you guys can organize a refugee program on your own, you don't need my help. All right, I'm going to open this up to everybody now. So anyone who's not a paying member will be able to chat. We've had the hour, so I hope you don't mind if you're paying members. Let me get to my content live, especially after hearing that one of my paying members can't chat. That's kind of annoying. Customization, subscribers. Okay, if you're a subscriber, you can now chat. All right, if you're a subscriber who's not a paying member, because not everybody has the resource to do it, please feel free to jump in the chat, and you can ask your questions too. So I've gone through those mementos. Now I'm going to go through some awards, okay? Okay, Shawnee, there you go. There we go. Maggie, George Peterson, thank you for being patient waiting. And Brown was concerned about your access, and there it is. So, all right. So now, these are just a handful of awards. I'm not just going to read some of the citations. This is my Good Conduct Medal for exemplary behavior, efficiency, and fidelity in active federal military service from 1983 to 1986. Peter Paulson, Lieutenant Colonel, Signal Corps Commanding. Yeah. So this is, oops, whoa. That's this award I've had for 40 years. Look at that. 40 years I've had that. That's crazy. Tijd om te trekken. Where are you going there, Sean? Why are you leaving? So this one here is, oh, here you go. This is my promotion certificate, or is it? No, that's a good conduct. Okay, you gave it to me twice. So here's when I got promoted to sergeant by Colonel Paulson and the Command Sergeant Major, 1985. I got promoted to sergeant. That's the old battle dress uniform there. Talk about a skinny guy. Hey, Farkas. 1985. This is me in the color guard. You can't see me, but I'm in the color guard carrying the American flag on what will be the left-hand side of the photograph at a rehearsal we did for one of the ceremonies, wearing our dress blues. It's rehearsal, I know, because somebody's sitting back in the back there. He's just, sipping on a drink. That's in the theater as we rehearsed. Well, my schedule for this week, Jurgens, as I've said over and over again, is that I'm doing consulting at the War College. Why do you ask? Okay, make sure that's me, because that looks kind of crazy. Make sure that is me. Yep, okay. Yep, so the second from the left is me. Yep. And this is the color guard with the color sergeant. And this is, we're rehearsing again. So here we're doing marching movements. And you can see that all of us have our legs just about to hit the ground, our right legs, as we're in step there. So that's me on the left. Not there, but over here. That's me right there. It's Bad Kreuznach, Germany. Just want to say your words are amazing. Which is your favorite, and do you miss your work? I miss Johan saying that I'm in the Army. People said, what do you do? For my entire life, I said, I'm in the Army. And I was proud of that. But then the Army went woke, and thankfully it happened after I left the Army. So I don't miss that. Wish I could join. Always getting back to your comrades chat. My uncle Koos ran 30 comrades. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. I need to do comrades to lose a little weight here. Been a cop for 32 years and been kept back in promotion past 26 because you're white. Jimmy, I'm sure. No questions about videos you've seen that's from ENCA. What? Good evening, Francois. George heard that World Bank gave a warning. They did, and I reported on earlier in my news program. You missed that, George. So that's a repeat of the good conduct now because they somehow managed to issue it twice. I got two of the same thing. And this isn't all the awards. It's just some of them. This is an Army Achievement Medal. So, hang on a second. I'll do it this way. There you go, Army Achievement Medal. Okay, and I'll read the citation to you. For exceptionally meritorious service while attached to the Staff Judge Advocate's Office from January 1990 to April 1990. During this time, Lieutenant Wyatt contributed immensely to the success of the Judge Advocate's Tax Center, spent many hours of off-duty time ensuring that clients will receive their tax refund from the Internal Revenue Service expeditiously through electronic filing, which was brand new. That we were testing it for the IRS back in 1990. His keen sense of responsibility distinguishes him as an officer of the highest caliber. His outstanding performance in duty reflects great credit upon himself, his unit, the United States Army. That was really cool that they gave me that. Was unnecessary. They gave it to me just before I left. Yeah, it was really cool. I was what they call casual. I couldn't continue my course because my clearance paperwork had been lost, they claimed. So I had to redo the paperwork. And while I was waiting for them to finish the investigation to give me the highest clearance you get, I couldn't take the courses because they're classified. So I had to stop that portion of the program for the intelligence course. And for like 5 months, I didn't have a job. So most people just sit around and collect a paycheck. I didn't like that. So I said, I don't want to just collect a paycheck. I want to do something. And so they let me go work for JAG, and it was really cool. And I got to be involved in the early days of electronic filing for taxes. It was really cool. This is an Army Achievement Medal from Germany that I got. Now, I had a boss that loved to hand these out, but this isn't from him. Army Achievement Medal, First Lieutenant Wyatt, HHC, Headquarters Company, 4th Brigade, 1st Armored Division. Outstanding performance, Assistant Brigade 2 during Warfighter 92. Your professional knowledge, sound judgment, careful planning significantly contribute to the unit's success. Hard work, attention, detail, and devotion to duty reflect great credit upon himself, the 1st Armored Division, and the United States Army. Yep, this was from Daniel Fleming, Commander, Aviation Brigade. Acting Brigade Commander. Yep. So that was after the boss left. I got that award. That's the lowest performance award you get from the Army. Here you go. This is my Creed of non-commissioned officer. This is my promotion certificate to sergeant right here. So, I said 85. It's 86. My bad. I got promoted to sergeant in 86. See, I'm getting old, forgetting things. I do promote, okay, what's this? Peter Schutter, thank you for subscribing. Know ye that reposing special trust and confidence in the fidelity and abilities of William Wyatt, I do promote him to Sergeant, United States Army, to the rank as such from the first day of August 1986. You will discharge carefully and diligently the duties of the grade to which promoted and uphold the traditions and standards of the Army. Soldiers of lesser rank are required to obey your lawful orders. Accordingly, you accept responsibility for their actions. As a non-commissioned officer, you are charged to observe and follow the orders and directions given by superiors, acting according to the laws, articles, and rules governing the discipline of the Army, and to correct conditions detrimental to the readiness thereof. In doing so, you fulfill your greatest obligation as a leader and thereby confirm your status as a non-commissioned officer in the United States Army. Yep. Wilhelm Lehman says, handsome in the days. Johan Pratt, sorry for not becoming a member, but no income. Johan, again, I'm going to say this very clearly for everybody. I don't ask anybody to become a paying member of the channel. I don't ask anybody to super chat. I realize that many people don't have the resources. I would prefer that you use your resources wisely if you have limited income. Take care of your bills. If you can, save something to take care of your future needs. Those who can manage and afford it, thank you very much. I'm very grateful for it. It's helpful. There's no need to apologize for not having money. It's not expected. This isn't a grift. We're not here to grift. We're here to share. We're here to learn. We're here to... and I opened it up to non-paying members. We lost 50 people. What the hell is that? 50 people left. It was 305, 310 a minute ago. Now it's 257 when I looked away. Wow. When I made people pay, they stayed. So this is... I got this award, and then I got another one for Distinguished Military Graduate. Distinguished Military Graduate is a high honor. When you graduate from university, only a select small number of people get Distinguished Military Graduate, and the same with Distinguished Military Student. This is a citation from the Department of the Army for Superior Cadet Decoration Award. Having been selected as the outstanding cadet in the class for the academic year 1989, is hereby awarded the ROTC Superior Cadet Decoration. Out of a class of 69 other cadets, I was the top cadet at Ohio University. And now out of 1,400 cadets, but out of my class, I was top in 69, and I got this from the commander of ROTC at Fort Knox. That's kind of cool. And then I was a Distinguished Military Graduate. So only one person got this, but then next year as a graduate, several of us got it. So yeah, I was Distinguished Military Student and Distinguished Military Graduate. You know, I never put that on my records. I should put that on there because I only spent 2 years in ROTC, and I was awarded both times for performance. This is from Iowa State University, and unfortunately the ink is all messed up on it, but this is when I taught at Iowa State. This is my award, Army Commendation. This is a step up from the Army Achievement. For exceptionally meritorious service as property book officer and as military science 2 instructor at Iowa State Army ROTC program. You distinguish yourself as an instructor, a trainer, property book officer, and leader. You were instrumental in helping train the future leaders of the U.S. Army. These actions reflect great pride upon yourself, the Cadet Command, and the United States Army. Signed by Colonel Cooch. That was really his name, Colonel Cooch, out in Colorado, at Fort Carson. Yep, that was... those leaders actually were very successful leaders because, as I said, I ran into them years later when I was in Bosnia. Army Commendation Medal, 1998. Meritorious Achievement is the Task Force Counterintelligence Coordinating Authority. Captain Wyatt's exemplary performance of duties upholds the finest traditions of military service and reflects distinct credit upon himself. Task Force Eagle in the United States Army. Major General Larry Ellis. This is from my time in Bosnia, and it doesn't say much about what I did because a lot of it was highly classified. But the unclassified stuff, let's see. Here's the orders. It's stuck together. Wow. I've never taken that out, I don't think, in almost 30 years. No, it won't come apart. It's stuck together. Wow, okay. Led sensitive subversion espionage directed against the Army investigations for Task Force Eagle, resulting in increased protection from foreign intelligence collection, reduced out-of-sequence intelligence reports from over 20% to under 5%, automated the databases, initiated a registration system, recognized subject matter expert regarding intelligence support to the deep battle, presented a briefing to Aviation Brigade, so well received that will be used as exemplar for future deep battle presentations within the division. Yeah, anyway, it's, they gave me some generic things I did, but the focus was the stuff I did that earned it was classified, so they couldn't share that. You have a lot of special forces guys who have awards, and all it says is, it says, congratulations, your service is fantastic. It doesn't say what they did because it's classified. Yep. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Wish I could join. Okay, so Chris, I'm a member. What's this? Just want to say your words are amazing. Which is your favorite Humus work? I talk with passion. Thank you. Lovely weather, Linda. Okay. Beach buggies. Okay. Rage off, Chris. If you come, okay. Bankrupt artist here. Very interesting. Very interesting looking back at your life and career with you. This is a Meritorious Service Award. That's a higher award, so it went to achievement, to commendation, to meritorious service, MSM. Captain Wyatt, 527th Military Intelligence Battalion, Meritorious Services, Vicenza Military Intelligence Detachment Commander, and it just says the standard stuff. It can't really say. It says, leadership, care for unit soldiers, yada, yada, yada. Reflects great credit upon you. 1997, 1999. Yep, headquarters, Fort Belvoir, INSCOM, Intelligence and Security Command. This is Defense Meritorious Service Medal. This is a higher level. That's a joint award, and that's from Africa Command, General Hooper. And this is in 2013. This is when I left Africa Command. Lieutenant Colonel Wyatt, United States Army, distinguished himself by exceptional meritorious service as Deputy Division Chief and Branch Chief, Southern Region and International Engagement Division, Strategy, Plans, and Programs Director at J5, United States Africa Command from 2011 to 2013. During this period, Colonel Wyatt's exceptional and prescient leadership and tireless efforts dramatically improved Africa Command's bilateral and multilateral engagement with African security partners, public and private perceptions of the command, and the design and execution of countless security assistance and cooperation activities across Southern Africa and the Sahel. He led over $63 million in counterterrorism programs, which aided markedly in countering violent extremists. His leadership of $25 million in security assistance programs also contributed measurably to the improvement of African military professionalism and capacity of over 200,000 African soldiers. The distinctive accomplishments of Lieutenant Colonel Wyatt reflect great credit upon himself, the United States Army, and the Department of Defense. So that was when I left Africa. Sunday Times, yeah, I read that already. Freeform is not speaking for everybody, and they're not claiming to. Where is Simon Riley here? I don't see anybody named Simon Riley. Oh, here he is. I'm here for FG, and I'm thankful for your help. I'll stay a member at best. I have to say thank you. Well, you're not a member, Simon. You're a subscriber, and I'm grateful for a subscriber, but you're not a member. Members are paying members, but thank you for your subscription, Simon. I appreciate that. Subscriptions are free. Membership has a cost. Loretta has a rugby memento for me. Thank you. I ran the conference, but got tired running back. It's starting to fetch my car. Don is cleaning house. Yep. I've answered that many times. It's not my second name, no. I was born on Christmas Day, and so I've never been called William. All right, this is the Meritorious Defense Meritorious Service Medal, another one. This is from General Sherlock, and this is from 2010. This is after I left Liberia, or Botswana. Lieutenant Colonel Wyatt, United States Army, distinguished himself by exceptional meritorious service as Chief Office of Security Cooperation in Botswana from 2008-2010. During this period, he superbly managed and provided technical oversight of the successful planning and execution of the Department of Defense security cooperation programs in Botswana and Malawi. He adroitly leveraged all security assistance tools to develop and implement a comprehensive program responsible for the needs of the armed forces of Botswana and Malawi while meeting United States national interests in the Southern Africa region. He vastly improved bilateral relations and achieved theater strategic effects by dramatically increasing security cooperation activities from 6 to 40 in just a year. He tactfully persuaded Botswana to offer troops to an African Union peacekeeping mission. He also spearheaded a comprehensive effort to transform the Botswana military intelligence enterprise. Distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Wyatt reflect great credit upon him, the United States Army and Department of Defense. So that was General Sherlock. That's another Defense Meritorious Service Medal. Another AFRICOM award. Lieutenant Colonel Wyatt, this is Defense Meritorious Service Medal again. General Altschuler. Lieutenant Colonel Wyatt distinguished himself with Meritorious Service Chief of the Office of Security Cooperation in Liberia from 2007 to 2008. During this period, he led a complicated, comprehensive security sector reform for National Defense Program in post-conflict Liberia, rescued a nearly defunct program, recruiting, vetting, training, and thereby increasing the size of the new Armed Force Liberia from 102 to 2,000 soldiers. Lieutenant Colonel Wyatt's efforts contributed immensely to U.S. foreign policy objectives, as well as in continued enduring peace and stability in the fragile West Africa subregion. Distinctive accomplishments, great credit upon him, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Here's another one. This one is another Defense Meritorious Service Medal. Okay, this one is 2014, Kevin Kovacic, Rear Admiral, United States Navy, Director of Strategy and Plans. Colonel, this is full Colonel Wyatt, United States Army, distinguished himself exceptionally meritorious service as Chief Office of Security Cooperation, Uganda Strategy Plans and Programs, J5. 2013-2014, during this period, he's superb security cooperation, vision, planning, and execution, leadership, enhanced security cooperation in East Africa and across 54 member state African Union, instrumental in the improved peace and security efforts in conflict-riddled South Sudan, Somalia, and the Central African Republic. Additionally, his ability to identify U.S. priorities and command interest early while maintaining situational awareness of all relevant Pan-African issues helped prioritize and influence critical Department of Defense and Department of State decisions, and distinctive credit upon himself and others. Getting bored? Okay. This is a Defense Meritorious Service Medal. There. This is Major William Wyatt, United States Army, distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious service as Branch Chief and Deputy Division Chief, African Division Joint Intelligence Analysis Office, Director of Analysis, Defense Intelligence Agency from 2004 to 2007. Exceptional performance had a direct and significant beneficial impact on the national security of the United States. Major Wyatt excelled as a political military expert during high-level foreign visits with representatives from Tunisia, Great Britain, Ghana, and Canada. Through Major Wyatt's aggressive intelligence production, he personally produced over 160 projects on southern Central Africa. That's 2,000 or 1,200. The highlight of his written products was the first collaborative interagency presidential daily brief article combining military analysis with political and economic inputs from members of the intelligence community. This, by the way, I'm the first person ever, and I initiated to ever do a joint interagency. In this case, it was CIA and Defense Intelligence Agency presidential daily brief for the President of the United States. A product that first was produced in the 1960s. I did this in 2006, the first time it was ever done. 40 years later. This product provided the President with an outstanding interagency perspective, helped formulate U.S. policy. Through his distinctive accomplishments, reflects great credit, yada, yada, yada. The Joint Service Commendation Medal, that's a step below that, okay. Major Wyatt distinguished himself by outstanding achievement from October 2002 to January 2003 while serving as the Signals Intelligence Director of the National Security Agency. Major Wyatt demonstrated leadership, command, aptitude, and skill on countless occasions within the Operational Requirements Division of the Cryptologic Mission Management Office. He played a major role in helping to manage the entire cryptologic system end-to-end. He helped identify insufficient and inadequate operational requirements that did not incorporate the national and tactical partners. He was a formidable force helping to change course with a concentration on leveling military understanding of the division's goals by obtaining buy-in from the combatant commanders and service cryptologic elements, and above all, eliciting and crafting requirements. He was a quick study and became a military leader of a team conceived to identify critical national and tactical users, including the roles and need for mission management. His effort was a cornerstone for helping the work center mitigate costly risk. His professionalism, devotion reflects great credit, yada, yada, yada. Almost done. Ooh. This one's sticking together badly. Okay, Joint Service Achievement Medal. This is one step below that. We go down one more step down, like the Army Achievement. It's Joint Achievement. So, Major Wyatt distinguished himself by outstanding achievement from October 2002 to December 2002 while serving as the Signals Intelligence Director at serving Joint Duty Assignment, Cryptologic Mission Management. He was instrumental in the successful development and fielding of the focused demonstration in time to support Operation Iraqi Freedom. As requirements integrated product team chair, he listed requirements and oversaw operational testing of the vital project. His contributions to critical point allowed the focused demonstration to deliver capability to leaders to adequately assess situational awareness, allow mission managers to dramatically improve signals intelligence operations in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom, and his efforts, yada, 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 yada. So, there's that. Okay, and what do we got here? Okay, and this is Defense Meritorious Service Award again. I've got like 6 of these, I think. Got 9 Army Commendation medals. So I didn't even go through most of them. God bless them. Why won't this go in? It won't cooperate and go in there. There we go. Something's wrong here. Oh, that page doesn't want to go in. I don't know why. All right, well, I'll leave it out. So thank you, Jan Kotze, for becoming a member. So, distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious service 2002 to 2004 while serving at Cryptologic Mission Management. Anyway, this is my award for my editorial award for that. So, that's enough of that. This is from the Carabinieri, the military police in Italy. And this one's got a coin with it, too. Cool. So Captain Wyatt, Commander, Military Intelligence Detachment. For the highest level of professionalism you have demonstrated during your permanence in Vicenza and outstanding assistance you provided for a great relationship between the United States and headquarters and Nucleo Staff, CTAF Carabinieri, 1997-99. And it says Gianfranco Ciancio, headquarters, Lieutenant Colonel, Carabinieri. There's another one of those President's Daily Brief certificates I got for another article I wrote. This one was from October 2005. There's another one. You can see this is all sitting in a box, guys. I don't hang this on my wall. December 2006. This is for the Senior Power Intelligence Review. This was a high-level intelligence product made for the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and it was recognized by the Chairman, so I got an award for that. And here's another Presidential Daily Brief, another one from 2006 for writing for the President of the United States. This is my graduation certificate. You saw the one in Arabic earlier. This is that's Arabic, but the certificate inside is in English. Le colonel-major Mansour Haddad, commandant de l'école d'état-major, atteste que le capitaine William Wyatt de la 23e promotion a suivi avec succès le cours d'état-major du 11 septembre 2000 du 6 juin 2001 avec la mention a réussi. I passed. I didn't pass with distinction. Vu le ministre de la Défense, le commandant de l'école d'état-major, and it's signed. So that was my graduation certificate from the Tunisian Staff College. All right. So, there you go. And all the people can accuse me of being self-promoter. Have at it. I don't give a crap. You see, I had to dig this out of a box in the basement and share it with you. So people can take what they want from that. I don't really care. All right. So this was a little get to know Chris session. So hope you got to know Chris a little bit better. Bad time for those who have jobs. Yeah, it's going on 10. You'll stay because of the value of information you're giving, and we know it's true. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that, Brenda. I think one of the greatest tragedies of South Africa is that we do not have military high schools like West Point. West Point's not a high school, it's a university. But I get your point. Thank you for the super chat, Reno. What do you think about Rob Hersoff, Chris? Do you know him? Reno, I've interviewed him on this channel just last week. I've interviewed him last month as well. I know Rob Hersoff, yes. What do I think of him? I think he's a very successful businessman who's trying to change things in South Africa. What did I do in the last 5 days? Nothing. Nothing at all. Why? Is that for Elon? Okay, Michael, have a good night's sleep. Love to have your opinion as a military intelligence expert on ANC disbanding executive outcomes. Even the French retain their legion. Well, the French Foreign Legion is a government-owned agency. Executive Outcomes is a private corporation, and it still exists in a different form. It's just not as famous anymore. But Executive Outcomes was not military. It was contractors. Probably the ink, Chris, sticking together, they can't see that they're laminated, so the plastic would start to fuse. Exactly. Yeah, it becomes brittle over time. You're right, Ruvani. Do you have a picture of yourself in step outs, formal dress? Yeah, it's in the video here. Formal dress. I've got a picture of myself with Brownie Samakai in my. I wonder if I've got that handy in my mess blues. That's the step out stuff. Mess blues. Where would that be at? Maybe here. Let me look here. Where's pictures? Liberia. Oh, it's going to be under, I don't see why, I think I put it under Monrovia. Monrovia photos, and that's going to be under 4th of July. There it is, 4th of July, 2008. Actually, I found it pretty quickly. There you go. So. Okay, I'll show you some of these pictures. So here I am with the Chinese colonel. He thinks he's a very smart intelligence guy. Like he thought he was getting over, but everything he knew, we told him. So there's my mess step out right there with the cummerbund on it, if that's what you're talking about. Okay. Here's me with Brownie Samakai, the Minister of Defense. I'm a lieutenant colonel here. You can see that my jacket's too big for me because I was so skinny. See the back of it hanging out? It was just too big. We wear the rank down here on the sleeve in these things. And this is one of the more famous pictures of me in the stepping out. That's the mess blues. Yep, that's mess blues. And on the jacket, the blue represents your branch. So different branches have different colors. That's Oriental blue, which is the military intelligence. You can see it's a puff shirt with gold buttons and a bow tie. And then you wear your rank down there. And you also see the blue on my sleeve. That also represents my branch. Two places you see it. It's a 3-button dinner jacket. That is the formal dress. Yep. So that's that. Okay. Is that helpful? That's what you're asking for. Good night, Loretta. Yeah, Rick, no one can say I didn't live life to the fullest, and you don't even know the half of it. You don't even know the horrors that I've seen in my life and the horrible things that happened in my life. Yep. No, I've definitely tried to give it the best. Ranger says, thanks for committing to free speech and logical thought. You're a legend. Well, thank you, sir. As an age a day, well, definitely. This needs to be. I need to die that if that's true. That's okay. You didn't screw up factually, Sandra. No, I'm just clarifying. Just clarifying. Okay. My stamp collection is small, Daniel. I only do it occasionally. The Postal Service doesn't make good stamps anymore. They don't make sheets of stamps like they used to. It's hard to get them. So I don't bother to collect foreign stamps. But that was a big motivation for me when I was a kid to learn about the world, as I was collecting stamps. I used to love it. Thank you, Erica. I'm 6'2". Avi says, you can tell you are good diplomats because people always look happy around you in pictures. They do. They do. And that's why when people talk about what happened in the White House, I know what happens in diplomacy. I've been there. I've worked in so many embassies. I've worked in so many international organizations. Yep. Simon, that's cool. You can take off. We're going to wrap up here shortly. I've got some stuff to prep. I'm off to work tomorrow. Today, I'm a wage slave tomorrow as well. I'm working all week at the War College, and it's regular business hours, so it's going to affect my broadcasting. But I will still be broadcasting. So, haven't been around today. Your thoughts on EU Ukraine deal as well as Gaza? Thoughts on the EU? Useless. Ukraine deal? What Ukraine deal? Keir Starmer giving $3 billion to fuel a war. I don't think that's a deal. I think that's a foolish mistake. And Gaza. Israel cut aid off to Gaza. It shut down the borders because they are reneging on their ceasefire agreement. So that's what you get. F around, FO. That's, yep. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that. But it's sad for the people of Gaza, but that's what you get when your country is run by a terrorist organization. All right, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks, everybody. Be sure to hit the like button if you don't mind. I really do appreciate being here. Yeah, the channel, Arctic, no, a break for the week. I'll still be broadcasting. I'll do late night ones, but they'll be shorter. But it will be a nice break. And watch, now is when they'll finally announce the refugee program stuff. But if they wait a week, then we'll be fine. All right, guys, thanks a lot. God bless. Take care. And we'll catch you here if anything breaks today, but more likely late tonight, which will be tomorrow morning for South Africans. All right? Cheers and be safe out there. Really appreciate your support. God bless. Hope you found it interesting.